Okay, so it says we're live. We all know that when we do these lives, we're never sure when it actually does go live. So hi guys. We're on Zoom, so I'm going to have to bounce between Zoom and any questions you may have, but I wanted to introduce to you Amber. And I wanted to let you know that we have a business membership. She is our second business member to join this Resonant Essentials. Oops, let me take off my sweater because it is kind of warm. So the business membership she joined, she's going to be here one day a week. And we're going to get into everything about how that works and what's going on and how she came to join us. But we're really pleased to meet her and have her here. She is an amazing spirit. She's very intuitive. We absolutely love and adore her. She makes Rosie and I laugh. I think Brother Francis even gets in on the actions when she comes in. But she is so fun to have around. And I wanted to introduce her to everybody at Resonant Essentials because this is the kind of energy that we want to promote, is people like her that come in always happy, always grounded, and always ready to do her work. So we've been very blessed with all the practitioners thus far, but she is a business member, so it's a little different. She rents the space one day a week. And so if you're interested in becoming like Amber, then give me a holler because she is really awesome. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
I say I'm introducing you and then I'm telling you all about you. So you're a Reiki practitioner. I know I can't decide. Do I look at her? Do I look at the camera? So I'm going to look at the camera so you guys can know, because usually we're in two different places. So I'm able to fake it. So Amber, when did you tell us a little bit about your background? Because you have a bigger background than just Reiki.
Well, I started caregiving in 2016, and you get attached to everybody that you help take care of. But there was one resident in particular who was just my best friend, and she really made me love being a caregiver and doing that work. And in 2019, she had dementia, but her dementia just skyrocketed. It got really bad. We couldn't figure out what to do for her. We talked to the doctor. Medication didn't help. It would either be to where she was completely sedated and couldn't function, or it just made things worse and she was just screaming for help. So it was very stressful on not only her, but her family and for us as caregivers, because what do you do, when you can't calm somebody down? What do you do when they don't recognize that you're there with them? It was just a horrible year. And when she finally transitioned, even then, her passing wasn't what you would want for somebody you love.
This is why we love her, because she cares.
She didn't go out peacefully. And for me, it was very traumatic because I loved her so much. And when you have to watch somebody suffer and you don't know what to do, it's one of the hardest things that's ever happened to me in my life. So when she transitioned, I just threw up my hands and I said, God, if you want me to continue doing this, you have to help me. You have to help me find a way to help people, because I don't want to experience this with anybody else.
Oh, you're such a beautiful spirit. I got tissues. No, don't ever say sorry for caring. I got tissues because I have been sick and I had lots of cold. So go ahead and continue. But yes.
So, like I said, I just kind of threw up my hands and I started praying, and I started hearing about distant healing, and I didn't know what that was. And when I seen a lady on YouTube talking about it, when I looked at her prices, it was like 150 for a session, and I was like, we really can't afford that. And how many sessions does it take? So I was like, well, that's kind of out of the picture. And then Reiki just kind of kept popping up in my ear on YouTube everywhere. So I went to Blue Eagle Metaphysics, and I talked to the lady at the cashier, and I told her the story. And she said, there's a book called Essential Reiki. I think you need that. So I read it. And after I read it, I was like, this is what I've been praying for. This is the answer to all of my prayers. And so I said, I'm going to sign up for Reiki classes. And of course, this was 2020 during the pandemic. So nobody was offering any classes. So I put my intention out there, and I said, I'm going to write everybody who I can find a listing for in New Mexico, and I'm going to see who responds. And that's who I'm going to take my classes with. And in October 2020, Sacred Springs Reiki Collective wrote back and said, hey, we have our first classes. Do you want to sign up? I said, yes. I paid my fees, and that was the beginning.
And I got to tell you, if you just look at how much she cares, this is why we're blessed to have her here with us. You can't go wrong, because you must see a lot of stuff, because you're still doing the caregiving stuff. I'm sorry, Max has decided to join us. He's been after me all day long. I keep trying to hide him. The fact that you cared enough to say, hey, I want to make sure that this job that I have, this career path that I've chosen as a caregiver, I can do something different. I can shift it for people. I can help them. I can reach out, and that's amazing. So thank you for being that person that really steps up. So you trained, and look at you. You're see, she laughs, she cries. She's just like the rest of us. I'm like, she's not ready for menopause. I know. But you're such a beautiful person. And I know that you bring that to your table, literally to the Reiki table. What do you do? Anything special? Do you focus in any arena that's like, because in a nursing home, you've got, to me, I don't know, I'm not there yet. I'm hoping to bypass that experience this lifetime, but you must see such a wide range of reasons why people are in a caregiving situation.
Yeah, a lot of times the biggest thing is that people have a hard time caring for their loved ones, especially when they have the dementia, because it's hard when your mother doesn't recognize you. It's hard when your mother doesn't, or your father or whoever doesn't understand what you're talking about anymore. It's hard when they can't recall the memories. It's hard when they can't remember your name. So a lot of the people that come to us, it's emotionally draining on their children or who they have taken care of them, because it's just a lot to deal with. How do you accept that? I can't tell you how you accept that. I don't even know what I would do. I just know that it's probably easier for a third party, because my feelings aren't getting hurt if they don't remember my name. My feelings aren't getting hurt if I can't remember about that time, where I was crying and, you did all this for me to make me feel better, and that stuck in my heart. Now you can't remember that. It doesn't impact me as a third party the same way it impacts their family. So the biggest thing we see is just people, trying to help ease that emotional burden, because even when family does come in, the dementia doesn't go away. Most times it just gets worse. And what I found with the Reiki is it doesn't stop the dementia, but it seems to help slow it down in a sense, to where
Okay.
there are days when family members come in and they do have those little moments when they can talk to their mom or their dad and they remember, or they're able to sit and conversate for a little bit. And even if the parent or whomever doesn't quite understand the conversation, the fact that they're there, maybe holding their hand, or they're able to give them a kiss or a hug, and you watch it, you see it, that means so much when you feel like you're losing somebody, even though they're physically here. So I feel like the Reiki has just really not only opened up my eyes, but my co-workers' eyes, my boss, she's my mother, her eyes, to seeing how great of benefits Reiki really has to not only ourselves, that are trying to work through our own emotional and spiritual healings and stuff, but also to people who are getting ready to transition, who have had better days behind them, but are now looking forward to going on a new journey. And I just really feel like the Reiki really helps just kind of ease that pain a little, to where, you get those one or two good moments, and one or two is, it's priceless,
It is. I agree. I've seen dementia situations and how difficult it can be. But there's got to be like the other end of that, because the family that comes in, I mean, you're available here at the center. Obviously, you're not going to have somebody with dementia come in. And so you're actually able to help the people who have family members who are, struck with cancer or dementia or diabetes, or because all of this is trauma, and having that, I felt her energy, believe me. I don't take in people lightly here at Resonant Essentials. I kind of put them through my filter. And she has such beautiful energy and such a gift, very intuitive, very healing, that it is, as you can see with her passion. And yes, Brother Francis, she definitely has that. She brings to the table this. So you're ready to work for people who have traumas that they're walking around. So, I hate to say it, but I forget things too, and that's stress induced. So, we could all use a little bit of session there, right?
Yeah. Well, and then like we see it even with like our caregivers, right? So,
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
And it's just everyday things that weigh on people. So, for me, if I can help ease some of that stress, or I can help you relax, or if you have pains and I can help you in any way, I'm happy to do it, because not only does it just make me feel good, but it makes for better caregivers.
Sounds like you're a little addicted to that Reiki energy yourself. Oh my gosh, here we go. We got addiction.
But it does. And I think, and then in that turn, it helps them to be not only better caregivers, but they go home with that energy too, and they take it. And, I had a personal client that,
keep drawing, guys. Sorry. Go ahead, dear.
I had a personal client who, she wouldn't let me do Reiki to her, which was fine. But when she would really be amping up and you could really tell she was getting like upset, I would just go off into a corner somewhere where she wouldn't see me. And I would do a self-treatment to myself, because I could feel myself getting worked up. And I'm like, okay, we can't both be
frying.
Yeah. And you could see the difference when my treatment was done, even if it was only for 10 or 15 minutes. You could feel the difference in the room, and you could feel the difference with her.
I am so glad you didn't say I snuck around the corner and sent her energy. Because I got to tell you, I know a lot of people who do this, and that's one of the biggest no-nos you can do. You don't step into somebody's energy unless it's approved. and accepted. So thank you. Thank you for being somebody with integrity, because, oh my God, do I know people and have I heard stories and we will laugh about it after in case anybody recognizes themselves in my stories. Just kidding, you guys, just kidding. But it's true. We have to hold our integrity as healers. Not only do we have to hold our integrity, but we also have to hold space for ourselves, because one of the things that I learned doing alternative healthcare, because I became a Reiki practitioner, a massage therapist, and a holistic kinesiologist through my many years of alternative healthcare. But when I became a massage therapist and did Reiki, this was so long ago. It was before the new ways they're doing things now. Don't get me started there either. But anyway, the funny thing about it is that I had people who would tell me, do you do Reiki? Well, they wouldn't come for a massage. And it's like, one does not necessitate the other. It's all energy work, but people had they thought Reiki was kind of a bad thing. It was from a cult. And I thought, okay, so you won't come for the massage because you're afraid I'll use Reiki, but I'm telling you, I don't use Reiki when I'm doing massage. And it was just a whole different scenario back in those days. So it's much more widely accepted now.
Well, I still think you get people who don't understand it, because when I was doing just, after my level 1, I felt good. I kept a small little diary of how people were doing, and that way I could kind of keep track, is this really helping, or is it just me making up stuff? And I thought, I was like, hey, every day I'm writing this down, I'm seeing things that are a little bit more positive. So I was happy. And then I started hearing people kind of talk about, oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, you're letting the devil in. And it really made me pause, because I was like, am I? I'm new to all this. So I'm thinking, well,
Right?
did I go down the wrong path? So again, I kind of threw up my hands and said, God, if what I'm doing is wrong, point me in the right direction. If this isn't where I'm supposed to be, show me the way, because I'm a willing participant and I'll go where I'm needed.
But it cracks me up. So here you're making improvements on people, and they're saying you're doing devil's work. Sign me up.
Well, like I said, I just prayed on it, and I said, if Reiki is what I'm supposed to be doing, and if Reiki is the right path for me, help me to make it happen. Help me to figure out how to get to where I'm supposed to be, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here.
So let's talk about that one. How did you come to Resonant Essentials?
Just divinely guided. I mean, I was essentially looking for a Reiki group because I wanted to belong somewhere. Not everybody that I was friends or associated with shared the same ideas as far as like spirituality and energy work and stuff, and I really wanted somewhere where I could be around people to where they understand what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about, and it's not like a weird taboo or too woo or whatever they say. And so that's what I was searching for on Meetup. And then I seen the group, and I kept seeing, because I only have like so many groups, so things pop up quite a bit, and I was like, well, I can't really do anything on the weekends because I work, but let's see. And then my schedule shifted, so I went to a graveyard shift. So I'm like, well, okay, can't do anything at night, but I still got the days free. And I had seen Brother Francis offered a meditation, and I had been kind of doing like meditations with another guy on Meetup, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed being in the group. It was fun. It was helping me, because when I do them by myself, I wasn't quite as, I just couldn't keep my mind
focused.
Yeah.
Or
So,
unfocused.
Yeah. And so in all of these meditations that I was doing, I kept seeing blue. I would see blue pyramids, blue people, blue cats, blue
Yeah.
crystals. Everything was blue. And I was like, well, what the heck is up with blue? So I asked, and it's the only thing I got about it was blue is significant. And I said, okay, I don't know what that means still, but okay. And one morning I was looking through again on Brother Francis's meditation, and it said something about the blue flame. I said, oh, that's interesting. Let me look into that. So I said, okay, I'm going to show up and just see what it's about. No expectations. I'm just going to go and see if there's anything for me. And that meditation just opened up my eyes, opened up my heart. I met Michelle. She greeted me that day when her and Brother Francis were out there. She mentioned they had spaces available to rent. I thought to myself, was I not just praying for God to help show me a way? And voila, just like that, everything just fell into place. And I couldn't be more thankful for the people here, because like I said, all this is new to me, and sometimes you feel lost. I don't know always what direction to go. And since I've been here, I have felt such a welcoming and a sense of belonging that I hadn't felt.
Be careful, I might hug you.
I might hug you. Like I can't. Like it's just been, it's overwhelming. Like the help I've gotten from being here, and I'm just so happy to be here. So grateful. Sorry.
We are so glad to have you. We had a couple of comments, one from David, and he said, thank you for sharing. And from Naomi, who said she received a treatment from you, and it took less than 2 weeks for the pain in her wrist to go away. And of course, Brother Francis is like, I love you unconditionally, because he's so awesome. You know, these are the things that, this is what this center is really for, is a place for people to land, to build together, to build community, to refer back and forth, to be supported by, and to bond with. And you fit so well that it's just amazing. You know, I can't say enough how thrilled I am that on Tuesdays I get to hang out with Amber. I drug my dogs in today so that she could get entertained. She does animal Reiki. Okay, we talked about this because I was like, they're driving me nuts. So she petted them for a little bit, and said, I says, do some energy, because of course I could too, but you know, I had class. So she took care of my dogs. She did amazing. They're over there sleeping. I wish I could turn everything around so you could see, but they're finally not in my lap. So how do they, you know, I know that you work by appointment. Okay. Tell us about your rates, because you're really offering a good special as an introductory offer for people to come in and have a session with you. So talk to us.
Well, right now, it's essentially $1 a minute. I'm offering 60, 40, and 20-minute sessions. So $60, $40, $20. But I'm also doing right now, probably till the end of January, where you can do a 40-minute session for $30. And 40 minutes is usually about as long as I like the average, I guess. You know, so I figured that would probably help out a lot of people if you feel inclined to work with me.
Come see her. Let me tell you, I know Rosie's not here today, but Rosie and I talked about, you know, doing some combinations with you and her, because she reads, you do Reiki, and people could actually come in and get a couple of sessions in, especially during this time for the new year, because I don't know if y'all have felt it, but I have felt it. Have you felt it? It's been like nuts out there. COVID is on the rise. I'm going to tell you that because of alternative healthcare and doing energy work and doing these things, we can raise our vibration to the point we don't get COVID. Okay. Now I know that that's a blanket statement, and it doesn't work for everybody, because you have to really accept and believe. I firmly believe that no matter what type of healing work, whether you go to Western medicine, Eastern medicine, alternative care. I believe that whatever you believe is going to work for you will work for you. And I have been directly exposed to COVID 5 times, one-on-one, and have not caught it yet because I do my own self-care stuff, and I know you do too. And she works in a nursing home. See, no COVID, no COVID. See, so we're sitting here, we're sitting close, but usually we're masked. We didn't want to do a video that's masked. So when we work with people, we make sure that we care about their safety.
Yes.
So you're charging that. How do they make an appointment with you?
Right now, they can either text or call. My number is 505-236-9541.
Repeat that again.
505-236-9541.
One more time and slow and loud.
505-236-9541.
Yes, even I got it then.
Need a drink.
Sorry, guys. But they can also walk in.
Yes, I'm here on Tuesdays, usually set up and ready to go by 9, and I usually stay until about 5 or 5:30, just kind of depending. When the days get a little bit more noticeably longer, I'll stay and come in earlier because once that sun goes down, it kind of makes me sleepy. So
yeah, we just did a survey and we'll be letting all of you guys know some of the results because hours and things are shifting. And I know it's the pandemic. It's whether do we extend the hours? Do we do 9 o'clock and then somebody else come in and take over at 1 o'clock so we can stay till 5 o'clock? And we're in flux. So if you guys have an opinion, let me know. We're going to bring in more business members. It's $200. Well, it's $197 plus tax. You get 1 day a week and you get from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. And if you rent from Resonant Essentials as a business member, you also get a price deduction for using the big room if you want to offer classes, or if you want to use one of the smaller rooms for classes, we have that available too. So we're going to be building energy together. We're not going to let the state of the pandemic get us down. We're going to keep rocking it here at Resonant Essentials with people like Amber. And be ready for some more surprises from Resonant Essentials. We've got some other programs. Don't forget, we have readers that you can, if you can't come in or you're not ready to come in, the readers are online at resonantessentials.com. You can schedule an appointment. They can Zoom you in. If you want, Brother Francis has a fantastic meditation course. It really surprised me that a lot of people in the survey were talking that they wanted meditation. And I'm like, we offer that. So we do have it. It's here. Brother Francis offers it at a very reasonable rate at 12 on Saturdays. We have Spirit Circle to get people kind of introduced to their own intuition. Donna runs that. And that's at 1 o'clock on Saturdays. We have tarot circle that people can join on Zoom, and we have a tarot class going. We're going to hopefully bring Darlene in during the week. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to knock on her door and say, hey, can you run this class again? Because there's some interest for people in the evenings. So thoughts to live by and little messages from heaven. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Bring your kids in too, because if your kids are all wound up from being all stressed out at school, at those rates, you can afford to bring your kids in, guys, and your dogs.
Oh, true. I just like to say, I'm grateful for you guys' warm welcoming and everything that you guys are doing for me. I can't be more grateful, and I feel it in my heart that, things are going to take off here. So get your spot while it's still available, because I really do feel big things are coming, and I've been pretty good at my feelings lately. So just putting that out there, you know. The classes are
Can you give me the
amazing.
winning lottery numbers?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
We're gonna start pulling cards.
But you know, I really feel like this is just an amazing place to be, and I'm just super excited for what comes ahead. I'm just super excited.
Well, we're very blessed to have you. I can't even begin to tell you how awesome. Be sure to come in Tuesdays from about 9 till about 5. You know, she leaves here about 5:30 when the sun starts going down. Ugh, I hate those short days. I hate winter. I know. Be one with my universe, and I'll manage the dark winters. But come in. She's amazing. She's lovely and very passionate. Or refer, because we're going to be working on a referral program you guys might want to be interested in. You know, you can get some free work if you start referring. So, my heart to all ears. Mwah! She just waits.
Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to speak.
She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. My hug.
Thank you.
We love being here. We hope to see you guys soon. Enjoy your day. Thanks for listening.
Bye.